We're now joined in the Samsung Mobile Media Center by tonight's winning crew chief, Darian Grubb. Darian, this is 4 now in the chase. Talk about the momentum the team has going into these final 2 races.
Momentum's huge, just knowing that we can get it done. All the guys just did a great job on pit road, and Jeff Mendering and the guys in the garage, too, just making sure all the setup changes were made. And the car was just fast all weekend. Tony gave us great feedback, and it was just a good weekend all the way around, so hopefully we can take that into the next 2 weeks.
Go to open up for questions. We'll go there, then Jim, and then Lewis.
Mark Darrow, PRN. You guys obviously had a great race car, but there were a couple of times during the race it looked like Tony hauled it up on his back a little bit. How important, or did you feel at times he was doing a little extra behind the wheel to give you what you needed?
Yeah, he definitely did. It's just like Martinsville when we were getting ready to go a lap down. He just keeps fighting and finding that extra 3/10 that's left in the car. We fell back to 3rd or 4th, I think, there at one time, and you could tell the handling was going away just a little bit, and the other guys were starting to really run up on him. But he found a little bit extra and moved up to the high line, got a little bit more speed out of the car and was able to hold on to it, and then actually ended up starting moving forward after those guys fell off a little bit. So he did a great job adapting to what the car needed.
Jim
Utter, Shaw Observer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but have there been many instances this season where from start to finish of a race weekend you guys have been as strong as you were here? You were fast in every practice, qualified really well, and strong throughout the entire race.
I think if you look back at early in the season, we kind of had some of those same stats going. We just didn't get the finishes that we needed at the end. Like Las Vegas is one of those we qualified really well and just stayed up front all day and just dominated the race and had some bad luck and still came back and finished second. I sit back and kick myself now because I wish we had done 2 tires there at the end again just to be able to pull off that win versus Carl. So those are points that we know we gave up early in the season and those things that after the reset it didn't matter, but it's good to have a weekend like this and give everybody that extra shot of confidence that they know they can get it done. The setups we have are working, and knowing that we got the 1.5 miles and stuff coming up at Homestead, hopefully we'll take a lot of those same things there and have that same speed.
Louis Frank of Reuters. A question about momentum. I mean, 4 wins in 8 weeks. I may have this a little bit wrong, but when you substituted for Chad, I think you had 2 wins with Jimmy within that 6-week period. What does momentum mean anything to you guys?
Yeah, that was 2 wins in 4 weeks, and it's definitely momentum and just attitude that you carry. You come in with a little bit more of a pep in your step, and you're bouncing around because you know you can get it done. And just having that extra confidence just means a lot, being able to go in and just keep your head up and keep working on everything that you think you need to work on, work through practice plans just like you think you need to. You're not going out and trying to search for speed. When you unload fast, you can afford to work on those things like we did this weekend.
Menzer.
Joe Menzer and NASCAR.com. Darian, you were around the 99, not just all night tonight, but it seemed like in practices, everything, you guys were right there. I mean, could you just talk about the weekend with them, and was it fun? Was it harrowing? I mean, was it a combination? What was it like?
It's definitely fun. It's one of those things where we just go out there and have a good time with it. We do the same job week in, week out, regardless of what's going on around us. When everything happened with the 18 car, those guys, it seems like all the media just disappeared away from us. Every camera was in our camera stall for the first practice, but after that, just everybody disappeared. So Bob and I were joking, and he said, I'm going to get up in your face and say, what are you having for dinner tonight? And just trying to get things, just going to get a camera to turn back around on us, but it's fun. We have fun with it, and we're all there to get the job done. We're not there to do the pomp and circumstance and all these other things. We just want to do what we've got to do to make fast race cars.
Bruce Martin with SportsIllustrated.com. It seems like through the first 26 races of the regular season, it was just a struggle. And, once the chase starts, it's like this giant light bulb moment went off. Was there indeed a light bulb moment that went off for you and the team once the chase started?
I really don't think so. I mean, we had strong cars. We just didn't get the finishes. We kind of got in a little bit of a slump there in the middle of the summer where it didn't seem like anything we did went right. We'd have a good car. We'd make a pit call, and it would really bite us, and we'd come back and the next week try to do it again, and it would work one week and wouldn't work the next week. So just as the chase started, we got the momentum on our side with the first 2 wins and just keep things rolling now, and it's just been better ever since.
Jerry, and then
Jerry Fraley, Dallas Morning News. Were you confident all the way that there was no way Burton could make it to the finish?
Pretty confident. Just the lap that they put it on, we knew that they were going to have a really hard time stretching it that far. But at that point, we were also gaining on them a second a lap, so it was going to pretty much add up that we were going to catch them there with 1 or 2 to go. So we were just kind of getting everything we could get.
Before we go to Mike, is there any questions for Darian up in the press box?
Wolfgang Monser from Germany, Ranchford Press Agency. I have a follow-up from the last question. So when Burton went into the lead and Tony lost a couple of positions after the last fuel stop, you didn't get under panic, you know, that Burton could do it to the finish without refueling? And what did you tell Tony over the radio?
No, we were pretty confident that they couldn't make it from that early, and if they did, the speed was going to have to be so slow we thought we could catch them anyway. So we just told him to worry about the 99 that was behind him and get everything we could get every lap, and hopefully it was going to work out. If nothing else, it was still going to be a great points day for us to finish second and be ahead of Carl, so we just got to keep fighting for all those points.
Mike Muller, MikeMuller.net. I know the 99 car had a little right front tire problem early on, and Tony doesn't like right front tire problems. Nobody likes right front tire problems here. What were you thinking, and did you see anything at all?
Yeah, we had the same issues, and pretty much everybody in the garage that was running those speeds did. The tire is a really good tire, but that's the limit of it. That's about what you can do speed-wise there. So I'm sure Goodyear's going to come back with something a little bit different, maybe make it a little better. If not, the race is even more exciting with that. The way the tires fall off, the fuel windows were getting shorted anyway, so it wasn't a real issue for us. We just had to make sure we took care of it. If you got really tight, you had to be even more careful.
Any more questions for Darian up in the press box?
No additional questions.
No. Darian, congratulations. We'll go ahead and get. Bob, you have one for?
Bob Parker, Sting Daily. Darian, going into Phoenix, do you look forward to something like that where you don't have a whole lot of notes and it's going to be more, I don't want to say seat of your pants, but maybe it will be?
We really do, because it's something where we did the tire test there, we did the open test, we got 4 full days of data that we've been digging through now for a month and a half. So we're really looking forward to going there and seeing if everything we learned while we were there still applies. The track's going to change a lot while we're there, obviously, with all the practice we have. And we just have to be smart about how we adapt to those changes and make sure Tony's feedback and our changes work to that. And hopefully we're going to have that speed.
Any more ones? All right, Darian, I think that's official. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And then the man next to you doesn't need any introduction. It's the winner of tonight's AAA Texas 500, Tony Stewart, driver the number 14 Office Depot Mobile One Chevrolet. It's his second career win at Texas Motor Speedway and fourth in the chase. He's just 3 points back of leader Carl Edwards heading into the final 2 races. Tony, talk about your run tonight.
I think it was all right. It was fair. We probably could have done a better job. I don't know what we would have done any different. I mean, we had a good car to start with, and the good thing was it was close enough to where Darian's just fine-tuning all day. And this is a race where the conditions change a bunch from the beginning of the day to the end. And I was real proud that we were able to adapt all day long. I mean, we never. I don't know that we ever got out of the top 5 there the whole race. So. It seemed like we just kind of stayed there and stayed in the top 3 or 4 the whole day. And, restarts were key, obviously, but, we got a really good restart that last one and, had the lead coming into the pit stop. And our guys did an awesome job in the pits and got us out ahead of him. And, that was really the difference, was just being able to get that track position and be able to run our pace versus trying to make something happen to catch him.
We'll go a couple down here, and then we'll go up to press box. Mark.
Mark Arrow, PRN. Tony, coming into this weekend, I think, Carl, those guys felt like advantaged them, here at Texas. You come out and you do this. How big of a message is it to them that maybe what they thought was reality isn't reality?
We tried to tell them that last week. So, it is what it is. I mean, I still stand firm that we're not counting on them to make mistakes or do anything. I mean, we're controlling our destiny, and today's a perfect example of that. I mean, we're worried about what we're doing. We're not worried about what they're doing. We raced our race today. We didn't do anything worrying about what they were doing or how they were doing things. We just ran our race, and that's what we intend to do the next 2 weeks. And it's theirs to lose now. But I don't know that they have a choice now. I mean, we did what we said we were going to do. We're going to take it if we want it. And today is a perfect example. I mean, we took 5 points off that deficit today, and we have that ability to do that the next 2 weeks.
Bruce
Martin, SportsIllustrated.com. Tony, it just seems like this championship chase of yours, you're just having a lot of fun doing it. Has this kind of been the most fun of a championship run you've had?
I think so. The good thing is we've been in this position a lot of times, and this isn't first time we've been in this deal. So, we have that ability to, like we said, I didn't think we really belonged in the chase to start with, and I didn't think we were a factor. So what do we have to lose? We don't have anything to lose. I don't care about second or third in the points. After you've won it, second doesn't really matter. So, to me, it's about going out and getting that championship and doing everything you can to accomplish that goal. And we're not a group that's going to sit here obviously and say, well, we'll take the easy road and settle for second. I'd rather finish sixth or seventh in points, knowing that we did everything we can to win. So that's what we're going to do the next 14 days.
Back in the back, Ben.
Joe Menzer, NASCAR.com. Tony, back here. I know you're not worried about the 99 and all that, but how cool was it to kind of battle it out with him tonight like you did? I mean, just being around him all night, and
it shows what this chase is going to be about. I mean, it's a good battle right now. I mean, this was a good race today. I mean, we never really got far away from each other, and at the end, it was down to the two of us. So, I don't know if you're Brian France right now. That I would say he's giddy right now. If not, he should be, because this is the perfect scenario. It's the perfect storm, so to speak, going into these last 2 weeks, and that's what you want. I mean, this is about as exciting as it gets to have two guys that are down to 3 points with 2 weeks to go.
I don't know if you saw or not, but he drew a little bit on your picture out there.
I saw that. The bad thing is I look really bad to start with, so he actually probably made me look a little better. So
we're going to go.
I think he was actually a little too infatuated with me to be drawing on me like that, so it kind of scares me that he was so concerned about it.
Any questions up in the press box?
Yeah, Kenny Bruce with SingDaily.com. Tony, you talked about this a little bit, but you've won a championship before. You've won 2 of them. Carl's been in the chase, but he's not won a title. How much of an advantage, if any at all, is that for your group, and how might it be an advantage? What's good about that for your guys?
It's definitely an advantage, but I'm not going to tell you why, because that's what I'm going to take to the next 2 weeks with me. We win this thing. I'll tell you after we win it. I'll tell you what the advantage is and why. But there's an advantage.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Tony, this is the second straight week where on restarts you were so strong coming from the outside and not in the preferred line. How gratifying is that? Just that, and you're whomping guys, in a straight fight whenever the pressure's on the line, you're delivering.
Yeah, I mean it's very gratifying. I mean I thought we were really strong all day on restarts. I mean we had the one restart. Where we took off third there, and we were 2 wide with Matt Kenseth going into 1 for the lead. So, we're aggressive right now, and it's like I said, I'm taking charge and trying to control my own destiny. And I think the restarts today showed what our intentions are and what we're about for these next 2 weeks.
Nick Bromberg, Yahoo Sports. Tony, does it feel odd at all winning 4 races in the chase and still being the chaser and not the guy being chased?
Not if you look at how bad a race we had at Dover. I mean, we've had to win 4 races to make up that deficit of what we got ourselves into at the Dover race. So, I'm going to be real disappointed if people are trying to make a story out of a guy that's got 4 wins isn't leading the points. I mean, it's about 10 weeks, and you got to be good for 10 weeks. You can't just sit there and say, well, you can throw it all away to try to win a race and get there. I mean, we have had to have those 4 wins to make up for, Kansas that we missed an opportunity there, and Dover that we just were bad at Dover. But we've had to rebound from that, and the good news is our four wins have carried us within 3 points of the lead. So I'm proud that we've been able to fight our way back up to it.
Okay, we'll come back down here. Jim.
It's like uncomfortable silence now.
Jim, right here. Trey, right here.
Jim Utter, Show Observer. Tony, can you remember the last time you've had such a strong weekend from start to finish? I know you were very confident coming here, but you must have felt some reinforcement getting out on the track on Friday and just being fast in every practice and qualifying well.
Yeah, we joke around about the Matt Kenseth syndrome. I mean, it's if he qualifies well, he's going to be solid in the race, and that was proof today. I mean, he qualified well, and he was a factor all day. But we're kind of in that same boat. We're not known for qualifying, so for us to qualify fifth and start that far forward, I mean, you got a sense that it's going to be a decent weekend. And the thing that we saw on the lap speeds out of practice is we didn't have that raw speed at the front of a run. But it seemed like after 10 laps, we matched those guys that did have the raw speed, and it seemed like by lap 15, it was kind of going the other way. So, you know that this race most likely is going to be decided in a relatively long run most of the time. And, that the good thing is it did today. And other than the traffic that we struggled with at the end, I mean, we had a really good long run car, and that's what you need.
Lewis.
Louis Frank of Reuters. 4 wins in 8 weeks in any Cup season is spectacular. Are you a believer in momentum? Does this do anything for you, or is just each race another time?
It'd be hard to not believe in it right now, to be honest. But, it's still, when we get to Phoenix next week, it's, what happened this week and last week are over, and you still got to start that weekend from scratch. And I think our group is really good at that. But it's, I think where the momentum carries isn't so much when you start on Friday. It's tonight through Thursday night, and it's the demeanor of the guys at the shop, how excited they are, and knowing, these guys are pumped up about what we got going on. So, when you got them working on your race car, you want them this pumped up and excited about the way things are going. But, it's back to business on Friday. And, the good thing is at the test there, like Darian mentioned, we were really fast at the test. So, I'm looking forward to getting there.
Jerry.
Tony, Jerry Jordan, the Examiner, kicking the tires. Last week you told Carl he better worry he wasn't going to sleep in 3 weeks. He was a little more subdued in here today than he was last week. Any more words of wisdom for Carl Edwards?
I'm pretty sure what we did on the racetrack said everything we needed to tell him today. I mean, I don't know how you top that. I mean, he knows. Trust me, he knows. If he's out there drawing on me out there, he knows. So the fun thing is I don't feel like I have to say anything. I feel like I already got it done.
Jerry Fraley, Dallas Morning News. You had a clean professional race today. Is that a function of the track or some guys, more sobering reality this week? And when you get that kind of race for you personally, is it a pleasure you can just show your ability and not worry about knuckleheads? Or
Well, we're not on a half mile anymore, and you're ripping around here like Darian mentioned. I mean, the speeds that we're running today, just unbelievable how fast we run here at Texas. So, you're not going to get guys doing what they did last week, and guys don't have to get in that position of trying to take chances and put themselves in bad positions to get to the bottom of the racetrack like they had to do last week. But, I think you kind of throw last week out of the equation. I mean, that's not normal for this series, and you only see it really twice a year at Martinsville. But that is what makes Martinsville exciting. But at the same time, I mean, that's why I'm glad we don't run 10 weeks at Martinsville to decide the championship, because it would get ugly. But it is nice to come here and know that you're not going to have to worry about that. And guys that had dramas last week had clean races today, and it just shows that it's a lot of it's a product of how fast we're running here. Guys have a lot more respect for each other here.
Any more questions in the press box for Tony?
No additional questions.
Any more down here? Al.
Yeah, Tony, Al Pearson, Auto Week. Carl said earlier he doesn't want to count anybody out who's still mathematically alive, no matter how far they are. But realistically, he's the guy you're worried about, or the guy you're looking at.
I'm
you don't
not
care about 8, 9, and 10.
worried about anybody. I'm worried about what we're doing, and that's it. I mean, make no mistakes. I mean, understand this when you leave here. For the next 2 weeks, I don't care what he does. I didn't care what he did last week. I didn't care what he did this week. I was worried about the 14 car, and that's all. I mean, and that's why we had the result we had today. We're not worrying about somebody else or something else. And, you're crazy if the way the race went last week or guys having engine problems, you never can count anybody out of the equation. But, I'm one of those guys. I believe there's 35% of the things that happen on a race weekend that we can control, and 65% that we can't. And all I care about is that 35% that we can control, and that's all we're going to focus on and worry about. The rest of it, we're not going to worry about what they're doing. I mean, when you got 2 weekends in a row like we've had, we don't have to do anything different. We just got to keep doing what we've been doing, and that's worrying about our own race car. Everybody else has to worry about what we're doing and why and how.
Any other questions?
Hi, welcome to Texas.
A little late. I've been here since Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave in about an hour, but thank you.
Janine Cloud with Skirts and Scuffs, and with going into Phoenix and Homestead the next 2 weeks, it's been a while since you won at either of those tracks. You think you can get back to victory lane at either place?
Been a while since I won here, but we're here tonight, aren't we? So I don't know how you count us out. I mean, it'd been a long time since I won at Martinsville. It'd been a long time since we won here, and we've done it 2 weeks in a row. So, yeah, if I ever had confidence that we can do it, yeah, I feel like we can.
Any other additional questions? Not? Congratulations, Tony.
All right, guys. Thank you.